If you clicked this video looking for an awesome Series 8 team, then you came to the right place. We're going to talk about all the details of my Reshiram team right now.
It's hot.
All right, here is the Reshiram team. This is very similar to the team I just built in my how to make a team video. If you are interested in learning how I go about making a team, go ahead and click the link down in the description. But also hit that like and subscribe button if you do enjoy the content. But this is the Reshiram team. I wanted to get this out because, as you know, Series 8 is starting tomorrow. So I wanted to get a team out that everybody can use. If you're looking for a team just to start out, see how it does, so you have a team ready to go, this team will be available. Of course, rental code right on the screen and will be down in the description. So feel free to check that out and leave me a comment if you do use the team. I'm just curious to know how you do with it, because I'm honestly looking forward to using this team myself. But right now we're just going to kind of go over the details of the team and talk about it a little bit more in depth. So if you just wanted the code and you're getting out of here, thanks for stopping by. Please do hit that like button though. All right, first up, obviously Reshiram. That is our one restricted Pokemon that we're using for this team. Main reason I chose Reshiram is because it's really good against Zacian. I feel like Zacian is probably the strongest Pokemon. So I definitely wanted something that's good against it. Reshiram's great against it, and I think it lines up pretty well against the field as well. So let's just kind of go over it here. We do see that it has a Turbo Blaze ability, which is pretty great. We're going to be able to hit through different abilities. So Earth Power, you can actually hit Rotom with Earth Power because it stops its Levitate ability, which is pretty great. But we also have, Blue Flare. It's 130 power, which is kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie there. It's kind of crazy. It's a lot of damage in Dynamax, of course. It's 150 power, which is tons of damage. Draco Meteor we have. Draco Meteor is basically another 130 power move. It's going to be hitting really hard. And the thing about Draco Meteor over Blue Flare, or I should say Blue Flare over Draco Meteor, is it's 130 power and it has a 20% chance to burn. So it doesn't lower your special attack or anything, where Draco Meteor does. So Blue Flare, it is 85% accurate, so you can miss it maybe a little more often than you'd like. But it's still very powerful. Earth Power obviously is going to be for some of those electric types, stuff like that maybe you need a little extra boost for. Plus in Dynamax is pretty cool, giving you a special defense boost. Shadow Ball is mainly for psychic types, but really it's going to be for Calyrex Ghost Rider. Shadow Ball hits for 4 times effective damage. Is going to be a really strong attack just to one-shot that thing. Which is another Pokemon I expect to be heavily used. We are running Assault Vest on this, and our spread is going to be a little bit of HP and a little bit of special defense just to give a little more bulk. And we're taking a little bit off of the speed because Reshiram honestly isn't that fast. But to go with the Reshiram, we are going to be running Whimsicott. Now, Whimsicott is going to make up for that. A little bit of a slower speed on Reshiram. So we're going to have that Tailwind on Whimsicott, obviously, give us that speed control. We're going with Fake Tears, which is going to be really strong. Obviously, Reshiram is a special attacker. So having Fake Tears, you can basically just one-shot anything at that point if you get a Fake Tears off, which just kind of goes really well with Reshiram, in my opinion. And then Protect, just to basically defend against those fake-out mons that everyone likes to run, like Incineroar. And then Dazzling Gleam is going to mostly there just to do a little bit of damage. It's going to hit both targets, which sometimes can come in handy. A little bit over a Moonblast, I think. Next up, Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is going to be a nice mon we can use to maybe shore up some of our bad matchups. And the good thing about this Tapu Fini is we are running a Wiki Berry, which means we are going to be able to get back some health. This Tapu Fini is pretty slow, honestly. We're only running a minimal speed investment. We're doing max HP, a little bit of special defense, a little bit of defense, and then a good chunk of special attack. Of course, if you do want to know the exact spreads, they will be in the paste down in the description, so you can click on that to get the exact spreads if you're curious. But this is a very defensive Fini, not too fast. Going with Moonblast for a great stab move. Muddy Water, probably one of its best moves. And then actually Icy Wind, which I didn't know it got. I was going to use Ice Beam, but I kind of like Icy Wind here as a second form of speed control. It can be really good, and it's still going to hit those ground types half decently. And we're pretty bulky, so I kind of like this setup on Tapu Fini. Next up is going to be Landorus, and Landorus I think fits really well on this team. It's going to help us out against some of those other mons. Once again, that Reshiram maybe is not going to be able to hit quite as hard, and plus the Intimidate support is really great. Going to be able to lower those physical attackers down. And then this one, we are running Protect on this, which the last Landorus I used was an Assault Vest, so no Protect. So, and if you notice, this team actually has quite a few Protects on it, which is really good, especially because Landorus also has Earthquake, right? So being able to Protect when Landorus uses Earthquake is another good option that we have here. But we went with Rock Slide, Earthquake, and Fly. Fly is going to give us that max airstream if we do decide to Dynamax Landorus, which is a pretty good option on this team. Now, this Landorus is max attack, max speed, jolly. So we're going to be basically as fast as we can be on this one, but we do have that Life Orb for a little extra damage. And you don't always need to Dynamax Reshiram with this team. Reshiram puts out a ton of damage without Dynamaxing, so sometimes you might want to go with that Landorus, Dynamax that Landorus. So we do want that speed control option in the stab. Max Airstream is really nice on Landorus there. Of course, Rock Slide is just one of those moves that can be frustrating to play against, but getting those flinches on your opponent can be really nice. And next up is Stakataka and our, whoops, lights going out there. Stakataka is basically our Trick Room, anti-Trick Room mon. Not only can it be very strong itself in Trick Room, but it can also just overturn Trick Room if that's what we need it to do. So we're going with Rock Slide on this one as a stab move, and then Body Press over a Steel move. And the reason this is because already I played this team a couple times on Showdown, and Porygon 2 is kind of a problem. So having a strong fighting type move to use against Porygon 2 is definitely going to be helpful. And obviously Body Press uses your defense. Stakataka's defense is insane. That 211 defense. So you're going to be hitting very hard. Very, very hard with that. And then Trick Room, of course, to either overturn Trick Room. Well, yeah, overturn it if your opponent uses it. And like I said, Second Attack is so slow. You can also act pretty well in Trick Room. And then Wide Guard. I just love Wide Guard as a move. You know, maybe I should just use a Steel move over Wide Guard. We'll have to see how strong these spread moves are going to be. But just the fact that, you know, not Glastrier, but the Calyrex forms, they both have a spread move as their signature move. Wide Guard could be pretty useful, I think, against them. And people don't usually play around it, which is great. And then lastly, Regieleki here. And a big reason for this is because of... one thing I needed to say about Stakataka. We're running Shuka Berry for ground type moves. So that's going to help us out against ground types. There's going to be a lot of ground types coming out, especially with stuff like Groudon. Got to worry about that. But anyway, Regieleki, last mon, and this is basically our Kyogre counter. Kyogre is going to be probably another heavily used restricted Pokemon. So Regieleki is going to be able to do a lot of damage to it and obviously outspeed it. So we are going to be running Air Balloon on there. Once again, we have some ground weaknesses with Stakataka and Regieleki, and also Reshiram. So going with a Air Balloon is going to be nice to kind of protect us against that. And also, if we have it up, we can go with Earthquake with Landorus and not worry about destroying our Regieleki. Now, we are going with Thunderbolt for our main stab move and Volt Switch so we can kind of pivot very easily. And then I went with Thunder Wave here, which is, I think, going to be pretty nice. In my mind, at least, there might be situations where we need to lower the speed of one of our opponent's Pokemon so that our other attacker can get a move off first. I can definitely see that coming up. And also, Regieleki, you know, it only gets electric type moves. So there's nothing else I really want there. But we do go with Protect as well. Once again, having Protect on a mon that's a little more frail, I think is good. But this one, we're actually not running max speed or anything because I don't think you need it. Base 200 speed is just so fast that you can kind of EV elsewhere, but this one we're going with 252 attack and a huge chunk of special defense and just a little bit of speed. So, you know, this is not necessarily the exact spread I wanted to use, but the thing is, it's kind of annoying resetting EVs. So I just decided to use the same one I had before, but this is pretty good. Just know you have plenty of special defense, so you can probably take at least one special defense move on this Regieleki. So that's going to be the team, guys. Hopefully that gives you a good overview. Please do comment down below if you check out the team, what you think of it. We'll have to see when the Series 8 actually starts to see how well it does, but for right now, I think it's going to be a pretty fun team, especially with using Reshiram, which is a Pokemon I haven't really heard too many people talk about. So anyway, thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.